Hey guys, welcome to Jen's Creativity Corner. I wanted to share with you some beginner tips for doing face painting. So not too long ago, I got invited to a block party. What I didn't realize is that it was going to be a big hit, and for 3 hours straight, I painted face after face after face. And the funny thing is, like, I hadn't practiced at all. I just sat there and was like, hey, well, I've got supplies and I didn't practice anything, so we'll just see how it turns out. First thing I recommend, practice. Practice a good amount. Figure out what your level is. Supplies. You'll want to make sure that you have good quality stuff. Now, if you want a professional face painting kit, like those things can be hundreds or thousands of dollars. Like if you are going to start up an actual legit business. If you're just doing it for fun or just dipping your toes into it, you don't have to go that crazy. Now, what I don't recommend using is this kind of stuff. So I've got a bunch of these, the little draw on waxy kind, and also the creamy stuff. This is all stuff that I've gotten over the years, discounted at Walmart after Halloween. And you know, I've had fun painting with them, but they're not good enough for face painting when you have to do it quickly. This kit really served me well. Lots of great pigments. I will say a couple of them I think maybe are a little drier than others, so they were a little trickier, not quite the same level of fluidity, but it worked really great. And as you can see, I mean, I did approximately, I'd say at least 35 faces. There's still a lot of product left. When it comes to application, you're going to want some sort of brush or applicator. We'll talk about hygiene in a little bit. Also, I'll have links down below to everything that I have here or the equivalent, because they're Amazon affiliate links and it helps support me on this channel, but also because they're really great products that I find useful. So these are really inexpensive, and these actually I had in stock because I do lip scents. So it's lipstick and also other makeups, but they're just one-time applicators. And they come inexpensive if you buy big packs. This came in like, I don't know how many packs, but several of these. I only went through, I think, one of these, or maybe like 1.5 or something. Not a lot, really not a big expense. Now, I do wish that I had different sizes. As I used the applicator, I used the bottom if I needed like a dot, but there are some details that are just too small to really be able to do with these. So I found something that I plan to buy, just smaller versions of applicators. And you know, if I can find like decent brushes, then maybe I'll link down to them as well below. One of these I feel like is essential. I'll talk about it a little bit more in the hygiene section, but this just made things very practical. And honestly, I probably want to get like 2 or 3 more of these because it just really slowed me down. Had kids waiting quite a while to clean this between uses. You're gonna want cute little disposable garbage for your one-time use products. You're going to want cleanup stuff, so hand sanitizer, you know, you're going to be touching their face and stuff. Makeup remover wipes in case you mess up, or if they got, you know, Cheeto dust on their face or something that you just need to clean up, and also to help clean up this. And then some Q-tips, doesn't hurt to have those. I didn't actually use them, but you know, if you need to clean up little details, they're really helpful for that. Last but not least, it is important to have a mirror. That way the kiddos can see the beautiful work, and that was my favorite thing when I would give it to them and they could look at their little face, and just to see their smiles light up was really fun. So going into this, I was mostly concerned about hygiene, and maybe I should have been more concerned about doing decent designs, but hygiene is a really important thing. You don't want to spread things, and just like, you know, you don't share makeup. Why should you share face paint with a bunch of strangers? So that's why I made sure to make this sanitary. So for each color, I had one of these, and it just stayed in there the whole time. When I needed a color, I would use that applicator, scoop it into this, and then use an applicator for the kids. So once I was ready and a kid would tell me, you know, I want a pink and purple butterfly with a blue body, then I could just take the applicator, put what I think I need of each color into one of these little circles in the palette, and then I can mix them if I want, you know, lighter shade, darker shade, custom mix, and just pull from there. I'll show you in the demo how I used almost exclusively only one applicator per kid by being kind of strategic about the way that I was using the colors. But this is what I did, and then once that kid was done, then I would move on to the next one, and that would be exclusively for someone's face, so that way there wasn't cross-contamination. Of course, using the hand sanitizer is good, and also having multiple of these is really helpful because using the makeup remover wipes and maybe like spraying it down and letting it dry, that took a decent amount of time when I'd have like 5 kids lined up waiting and I'm wiping it off. And especially because these are kind of creamy, it takes a good amount of effort to get it off. You're not just gonna get it in one swipe. It'll take like 3 or 4 sometimes of the makeup remover wipes, especially if you overestimated how much paint you need. So that's something to consider. So technique in general, I'll show you a little demo, but it was important for me to just have fun with the kids. So they would sit down next to me and I would just ask them, what do you want? Now, of course, if you have practiced and you feel only comfortable with certain things, then you would want like an example sheet of like, these are the things you can pick from and ask them which one they want. But I decided, you know what, we'll just try for whatever they want. And so I'd sit them down, ask them what they want. If they knew they wanted a butterfly, if they knew they wanted, I don't know, a dinosaur, like we would go for it. If I didn't feel comfortable, there were some that I was like, ooh, I don't think I can pull that off. I would kind of go with something that was related to it, inspired by it, and just let them know, like, I'll do something fun that's kind of like that, but that way they weren't expecting it to be exactly that, but it would still be fun for them. Some of them didn't know at all what they wanted, so I'd ask them what their favorite color was and go from there. My most popular requests were butterflies, flowers, unicorns. There were a number of cats. The most interesting request that I got was definitely going to be an axe. Kid had like a toy axe and he was like, I want it. And some of them, you know, I would ask where they want it. So some, just a couple on the forehead, most of them were just on their cheek, and some just wanted it on their hand. Obviously, for the little ones, you want to make sure to pick something that is very simple. I think the youngest little one that I had was probably like a year old, and mom was like, Leah, let's do like a ladybug. So I got a red semicircle, and the little one ran off to go play at the bouncy house. So we're like, okay, that's it. Just remember that the younger they are, the less patience they have and the more wiggly they are. I would remind the kids if they were getting a little wiggly and distracted, just saying, oh, try not to wiggle because it'll turn into a blob instead of a pretty unicorn. So just kind of remind them continually as needed. And ask them, you know, what kind of day they're having. Just treat them like they're special and get to know them while you're doing it is really fun. All right, I'm gonna show you a demo of just basic, my level of skills, but also how I manage to just work so I'm not wasting too much material. So let me show you that right now. So I'm just going to demonstrate on my hand here one of the more requested ones. So we're just going to do a little butterfly and a flower, and I'll show you how I get started with that. So as you can see here, right, each item has their own applicator. These are not going on the kids' faces, so I'm not cross-contaminating. I'm going to say that is enough. A little bit of purple. Start off with the pink. And again, I am not an expert in any way, shape, or form. Not claiming to be. Alright, so what you'll see here is I'm moving from color to color. So I started off with the pink. It'll blend well with the purple. So these aren't super crisp. There is some blending, but that is saving me on applicators, and it totally worked for me. Okay, so there you go. Basic little one. Sometimes we'll put a little heart in there or something like that. Just realize that the more time you spend, you know, you might have a line. I did have a couple of kids that asked, why are you so slow? So I'm going to toss that in here. Now because I went to black, I can't just go back to lighter colors. I did limit most kids to one item, you know, either a butterfly or a flower. So, but we're gonna do a flower and I want a lighter pink. So I'll just mix that up here. And to be able to use this applicator again, I kind of scrape off what I can of the pink and then go into the green. What I did in a pinch, just because it is hard to get a crisp dot with this tool. So just gonna put it in there, get a little bit on here, and give it a spin. That is just some really basic ones and how I used only 1 to 2 applicators, and we kept things completely sanitary. So then I would just move on to the next kids, go all the way around. So there is the basics of face painting, or in this case, hand painting, which some kids, you know, some kids want. Watch out for glasses. I always ask their parents or them, preferably, to kind of put their hair behind their ears, because I don't want to touch the kids. I want to touch them as little as possible, preferably only with the applicator. Sometimes if I was doing an intricate detail, I might like rest my pinky on their face, but I try to avoid that. So most of all, think of just being prepared, practice, hygiene, and have fun. Again, make sure to check out the links down below of supplies, and I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and let me know if you like this kind of stuff. Comment down below, have you ever had your face painted? Thanks again for joining me here on Jen's Creativity Corner. I hope to see you around next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.